Working. Hi, everybody, and welcome to today's art session. I am trying to just get my tripod right here. I'm trying to watercolor this image that I've sketched on this paper in. I've not done live before, so just bear with me. Hopefully, I'll figure it out. See when I start. Right, so this image I've drawn here is not very clear because it's in pencil, but I have 3 elephants just drawn lightly here, and a character, a little girl, and balloons. So it'll become a bit more clear when I start painting that in. So I have some watercolor that I'm going to be using, and we'll see how far we go with this before I decide to stop. So yeah, this should be fun, using different brushes that I have. I have some of my blue brushes here, just quite a selection that I've been using, and then also I have these other brushes that I brought specifically for my watercolors, really. So we'll see. I'll go in between these, and also I have some of my watercolor pens as well. So yeah, I'll be going in and out of this. I might try and figure out if I should use watercolor pencil in a few different situations, but yeah, I'm trying to go lightly with this. I might start with the watercolor pens. This pink, maybe. Trying to think if I want to do that. Just in some areas, just to get some color down, and then to start working with that. So I'm just gonna get this in here, and yeah, just have 3 balloons to start off with. Those colors might change later, and then look for a brush that I'll use. I'm going to use number 10 here that I have brush, and just dip it in my water here. And so this is the pen that I use, the watercolor pen, art line, and I'm just gonna put some water on this, and it's gonna bleed into that balloon there. So that's already got some quick color on it before I start doing something else, just to give interest straight away. And we'll see if I can go gently with this and not be too... I've been really liking my blues recently, so I might come down here and put in some blue. Sometimes I've been slanting my actual paper. This paper I'm using is not watercolor paper. It is, let me just check this. I think it's got it on there. It is artist sketchbook paper. So that is, yeah, it's 160 gram. So it's not, you know, exactly watercolor paper, but I'm going to be gentle with the way I'm using it on this, as in I'm not going to rub too much. And then I'm going to start using some colors here and see what happens. I like my blues recently, so this is kind of a ultramarine blue. So I'm just going to tap some of that in there lightly, get some of that going. And you can add more water to kind of get it to bleed a bit more. I want to get some more bleed. So when I'm painting, because I just see myself as a learner as well, I never really have, I mean, this is me deciding that this year is a watercolor year. So I've not I've had watercolor for years, but I've not used it to the level that I've always wanted to. And so that's what I'm doing this year, is like I'm trying to get in my watercolor. So that's what's going on here. And I'm gonna do these elephants Right, I want them to be a bit grey, but I want to go in lightly. So I've got another colour on this. So I'm going to start putting some water here, and then I'm going to put in some black, which I've mistakenly written on that top already. Oh well. So I'm trying to check my time in here so that I'm not too long. So it's just to get some colours, because these elephants are going to have a little bit of grey on them. And then just see how this leads. So I'm planning to figure out how to get my easel to get an easel that I can slant, because I'm discovering that the way the water falls, it really assists how your image will turn out, and helps you kind of identify how to put your colors on, because I seem to like the slant a lot. So I want to be able to have that option, so I will be figuring that out. So I have not done this before, so I'm just gonna go with it. So I've already put quite a bit of colour down there, but you can't see everything of what I've been doing. And because I don't want to get this side too, I want to let this dry a little bit. I'm going to go a bit higher up and go into her face here, because I want to actually start bringing out her features and things. Yeah, so this brown, I'm going to just tap some in. And on her nose, pull it in a little bit into her neck. And then you can just add a bit more and it'll get darker and darker, but I will just So it's just kind of bleeding it. If it's too dark, you go in and adjust it. So this is the blue. Her hair is up here, but because I have been already painting her face here, I'm not going to go in to this area. So what I'm going to do is going to start on these branches here and use some green. So, green. I really like this green. I'm just going to start adding to these pencil bits that I've got here some leaves, which the whole point of these leaves for me is just to add kind of a quaint foliage. So I like adding plants and animals to my drawings, because I'm just into my wildlife and my nature and things. So growing up we watched a lot of wildlife programs, and so yeah, I have a big interest for animals. And we'll see how far we go with this, because watercolor, it can take a while. I'm kind of blasé with the way that I do my artwork, because I can be quite quick and try not to think too much about what I'm doing. So just be careful with this other bit down, the blue bit that's drying here. So yeah, I've never done live before. The kids are currently at school, and I wanted to start trying something different for 2018 and just be brave and be free with what I'm doing. So I don't know if anyone is, I'm trying to figure out how this works here, so please forgive me if I'm not responding if you're asking me questions. I will look through again and see if there are any questions that anyone wanted to know. The watercolors that I'm using are quite varied. This is Reeves, and I also have the, let's see, acryline. So if I could just get this moved. I've got different things around the table. So I've got, yes, Aquafine, this Dali and Rowney watercolors that I've got in these tubes here. I mean, in these palettes. And then my watercolor pen. And so now I've got this green here, and I might want to, just for adding color sake, put some more water here, and I'm going to put some yellow because I decided I just want this to be nice and bright and fun today. So let's put some there. That's quite a lot of water, and maybe some more water up here. So I'll just do some bits, and then I'll go in and get some yellow and start dropping it into different areas and link it all up. So some yellow. Can actually see the places that I put that water. So even if it just drops, kind of. Fine by me. I like that. It's quite a nice, bright, strong yellow. Between. Just add that there. So that's gonna all dry somehow, and then this area here is drying, so I might go in and start using some black on her eyes just to start pulling that in, so you can see the character's eyes here. And I usually sometimes make them look that way, but I could make her look this way, so that would mean her lashes would go this way. And I'm gonna put like a big tick, and I'm just drawing this in. You could use here kind of a masking fluid for that, so that you don't have to draw those spaces in like I've just done. So watercolor is kind of getting the kind of way I want the paintings that I'm doing currently to be, because I usually do a lot of my digital work, and this year I decided I want to pull back on the digital and work on my practical painting and just see how that goes. So that's some mouth there, and I'm going to add the elephant's eyes as well. So I'm going to do, one's going this way, if I can get the gaps. So you're starting to see now what that kind of looks like a little bit. So kind of put this down a lot quicker probably than, just to get the effect so that you can see what it is that I'm trying to get at. Still a way to go though, but I'll see how far we get with this. I might continue this on part 2 another day. But I'm really enjoying the watercolor and trying to be free with it. just be fine with the mistakes as well. So, so I've done that one. So there's 3 elephants here. This area. If I can get all their eyes right, that would be cool. So I vaguely know what I want their eyes to be like. And I usually work digitally, so I am trying to be carefree with the way that I'm doing this. So, yeah, there will be mistakes, or happy mistakes I'm gonna call them, but I don't mind. I'm trying to work out how to do my elephant's tusks. So we're into a new year, and I'm excited to see what this year will be about. It's awesome to have a new year and to begin afresh, I think. That's how I feel. It's like another opportunity to, if there's things you didn't quite achieve the first year, you know, like last year, then this year you can now try and work on those things and get better at them, or do them your way this time and in a productive manner. So I'm thinking here under her eye here, I'm calling it her, I'm gonna put some pink. So I'm gonna drop some pink in here. And so that's quite a bright. Let's see here. Some other ones. This might not end up being the kind of brightness that I like for some stuff, but it's because it's got the grey, and they're grey elephants. I mean, I could have used other colors. I have had my elephants be blue before and a whole lot of other things, but well, let's see how it goes. Just try it, and then if it doesn't work, next time I'll know, basically. Just doing that, and then for hers as well, I'll just do a little bit lower than. I think that's enough water. Like really, for watercolor, I can see why the paper has to be very specific now, because you can use so much water, and so you need something that can absorb that. And I know that this will warp slightly, but I'm fine with that, because I'm trying to use also kind of what I have at home. This year I don't really want to buy too much more stock like I did last year, and it was a lot of money going, and I have a lot of things I want to reuse here, basically. So that nose looks really red or pink, so you can take some off. There's different kind of colors you can mix here, so I'm going to use some of this red and see if I can mix a kind of a pink, peachy pink, with the white, and for the nose and places. So some of the ear, just gonna put some stuff in. Though the ear technically doesn't have that. That's more if it's kind of rabbit ears, but I'm just gonna add add some randomness in this. Her hair color, I'm still trying to think what color I want to do for that. So this blue is quite blue, but I'm going to add some more blue in here. So her hair, because I've not used any red, I'm just going to look at this from afar now and just see. So that's 20 minutes in, roughly. And just seeing. I'm thinking about the settings that I have on this, and I'm hoping that people can comment. I can see something there that looks like there's a comment button. I'm hoping I'm not supposed to press that. I don't also want to mess this up, so I'm trying to think what color for our hair here. And maybe I should just leave it black. Just for this first one, and not kind of mess it up. And then I'm not able to do anything about it. So I've just started off in the balloon here, so I'll let this dry a little bit, and then I'll add some more. I'm trying to think where to go into now, and maybe this face here, this little cute face. And start trying to define some areas. So it's slowly turning the areas here. The area could be darker. Just building it up. And here it could be a bit darker because this is like going into where they're. This little hand. So let's go around here and just dilate that a bit. So it's just slowly trying to see what is behind what. So I think this ear is behind this one. Yeah, I've got to decide what actual what color her top's gonna be there. something that's quite specific so that I just remember that they're eyes. And put some orange in here, even if it's light to start with. Just those dots. Right, I'm going to put some green in the eyes. So I'm going to start my signature eyes that I usually do. So I like adding green to a lot of the eyes. So if I have green in any of the pictures, that's going in, basically. And then I will let that dry and then add another color. So that's all of them got the green. Once that dries, I'll do something else with the other colors. So these balloons are quite, what's the word? Quite prominent. So I'm trying to see now what I'm going to do with this balloon. Just to get some kind of emphasis on it. So I've done that on the outside and I've got this wet one. I'm going to go on the inner side of the water. And let's see if I can just blur that a little bit. But it's just to make it a bit prominent. So that's got a lot of stuff around it. I'm going to wait till that come to this one. So it's like 3 elephants basically with 3 balloons. I don't know the reason for the 3 balloons, but all I could think about was 3 cute elephants with balloons. That was it. That's all I had. So this paper, if I'm not careful, I'll rub too much, and that will be an issue. So I'm going to go back into the hair with some black. So I'm trying to be conscious of the time as well for the kids. Let's see. I'm gonna try and do some lines here. Could probably use the watercolor pens a bit more, but I'll see in a minute. So it's just layering, and the more layering, it just gets more and more detail. And the elephants as well. Just going to use some of this burnt sienna, I think it is, and just start getting some of the shadows in some areas. And phone ringing. Right, let's see, so this is what I've got so far. And I'm just going to add some more, go to Yep.